Okay, so this is going to be a quick video on the TurboBee frame from iFlight RC. Put some pictures a while back, maybe like a week ago, on my Instagram, and I did the build, and kind of disappointed in this frame, in the way it turned out, and I'll cover why that is here. This is the 3mm version, so they're selling two versions of this frame, in a 3mm and a 2mm, and this is the 2mm here. Obviously the 2mm is going to be thinner, not as durable, and also lighter. This is a heavier setup here. They both use the same motor pattern. It's a 3-hole motor pattern. It's made specifically for their tachyon line. This is a 0804 12,000 kV motor. I think they also have a 10,000 or 15,000 kV. In any event, I built this with their new stack, the micro stack that I did a video on a few days ago. And this one is a 2 to 4S stack, and I built this to fly on 2S on these GemFan 2540 props. And I originally tried to use the GemFan 65mm props, but they're too big for this frame. It would actually end up hitting this TPU part here, and the props would just fly off of these tachyon motors. The motor stems are too short for those, so they told me that I had to use the GemFan 2540s, and yeah, so it flies pretty fast. It's I guess you would call it it's a current amp draw a hog, so yeah, it basically kills your batteries really fast. Now I end up finally going with these GNB 450 2S lipos. I can get maybe 2.5 minutes of flight, but it goes from 4.2 volts down to 3 volts per cell at the end, and you hit the low voltage alarm at like 3.5 volts per cell pretty quick, like within about 30 to 40 seconds. So yeah, it will sag the battery extremely fast, because I think these motors here probably are better to run on 1S instead of 2S and maybe 15,000 kV. Problem is, I can't run this on 1S because the stack here is 2 to 4S. Yeah, maybe I should try and run these on 4S and see what happens to the motors. They probably just blow up in smoke. Now, the other thing I'm disappointed about the motors here is that the bearings are pretty much shot on these back ones here, so not sure if you'll be able to hear that. That's pretty noisy, but I think this one here is even noisier. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yeah, it's pretty loud. The bearing is totally shot after not that many flights, really. So yeah, these are still pretty much new. The ones in the front seem to be, the ones in the front seem to be okay. The ones in the back are pretty shot up. So yeah, I wish. That's another thing. The motors here, they use an M2 screw, not like I think the like most 0802, 0803 motors using like an M1.4 screw, I think, something like that. In any event, so yeah, if you wanted to use a different motor, it may not necessarily fit the whole pattern on this. What I did is I gave some feedback to iFlight on this frame. I think if you're going to go for the 3mm frame, they should allow for the 1100 series motors with the 4-hole pattern, the 9mm 4-hole pattern, so you can put on like say an 1103 size motor. With this stack, I think it would be a lot better on the 2.5-inch prop. I don't think the amp draw is going to be quite as high as on this 0804 motor, and it should have a lot more torque, low-end torque, for quick turns and more maneuverability. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that or not. That's my feedback to them, is just to offer up another one of these frames in this size, 3mm for the 1100 series motors. I think that will be better, and if I do end up getting that, I will redo this build on that setup with a better motor. I think that will give a better experience. But yet, I mean, I've probably been flashing some photos of the build here. It's pretty simple. You know, there's a receiver back here. Mount the stack. Put your camera in here. There's a little cable for the camera that plugs into the flight controller, and then you just solder up your motors here. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward build. Not that difficult. Now, I do have a 2mm frame that I haven't built yet, but I think that this is going to be good on 1S. And I actually have a stack here that I haven't used yet, and I've been waiting for a 16x16 frame that I wanted to use with this guy. This is the Newbie drone. I think they call this the Hive 16. So it's got a built-in receiver. You can see you got diversity free sky antenna receivers here, built-in video transmitter. It's got OSD, F4. It's 4-in-1 ESC, 12 amps. I think BLS, and this is 1 to 2S. So this is what I'm going to use in a future video. Obviously, I haven't built it yet. It's going to go, stack's going to go in there, obviously. And then I am thinking I'll probably just use these motors that I haven't used yet. Let's see what these. Okay, so these are some Racer Star motors that I picked up a while back, and these are 0804 10,000 kV. Probably should be fine on 1S, and I don't think that this motor stem is long enough for those jump fan props, and it's not going to fit this frame anyway. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with the jump fan 2540s again on this one, and I think that these also use an M2 screw on the top and the bottom. So yeah, this is probably what I'm going to build this out at, and I'm going to build it as a 1S. So it should be a lot lighter and not as amp hungry, so I'll have a better flight time. Now, if you don't care about flight time, then yeah, go for this build. You're gonna get like 2 minutes of a joyride. It's pretty fast. It's not much of an acro machine, in my opinion. It's more of a racer. And yeah, it can do the flips and rolls, but it's not. Yeah, I think this is more for straight line type of flying there versus flips and rolls and acro type flying. But you know, your opinions out there are going to vary. That's my opinion on this one. But yeah, I'm going to have another video later with some different parts. I'm going to do a 1S build on the 2mm version of this, so yeah, stay tuned for that video. We'll see how that one turns out. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about this guy, yeah, let me know. Like I said, I don't really recommend this setup here, so I'm not going to really go into too much more detail on this. I don't think that the flying experience on this exact setup you see here is all that interesting or that good. So well, I'll be experimenting some more. Hopefully this guy here will be flying a little bit better, and I'll have a video on that one later. And I'll just go and show you a little bit of flight footage of this guy, because I'm sure people are going to be wondering what it looks like at all. You know, it looks like a lot of other FPV footage. Can't tell a whole lot just by looking at it, but you know, some of you guys can, or maybe you can't, I don't know. Anyway, I'll just show you the footage. You guys can enjoy that. And yeah, this one's going to go into the drawer for now. I'm going to wait for a different frame, different motors. I do like the stack, but yeah, this setup here is not my favorite. So hopefully this guy will turn out better, and we'll see that in a future video. Anyway, you guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.